I think the border where you can make AI work is if you can make it feel like it's a human.
So there's 3 major issues with the YouTube automation space.
Those are the 2 types of YouTube automation channels that you should never make.
All right, so we're back with another episode.
Let's go.
Dude, there's like, why do you always look towards there? Who are you looking at?
I'm looking at the camera.
No, oh, I forgot. We switched up the setup. In case of you guys, if any of you guys are watching the video, we changed up the setup. We decided why not have a cool, you know, sitting down vibe.
Chill. It's vibes.
I like it better. The reason why is, Malia, can you go back to the broad camera view? So like, if you guys see on the other side, there's this couch. And the issue I ran into is like, me and Julian used to sit on the same couch and we would have to go like this, like facing each other like this the entire time. That was like, I'm not gonna lie, I think I got like arthritis because of it.
Really? I was honestly kind of feeling the vibes. Like I thought you were just kind of flirting with me and that's why we were wanting to go with the couch. But I mean, I guess that works as well. But yeah, let us know which setup you guys like more. Personally, it's me. I like this one more.
The biggest thing right now everyone's debating that I've seen all over Twitter and everything, people keep saying, okay, is YouTube oversaturated? Are people moving to Kick? You know, you got people moving to TikTok, Rumble, all these other platforms. You know, will YouTube die out? And so I have a question for you, and then we can go back and forth. But like, genuinely, I think that's a good question to answer. Is like, will it die?
I agree. I mean, I feel like we're at just such a weird state with like almost company v company. It's like weird, something we've never seen, and especially on the live streaming side of things. Like as long as I can remember, anyways, Twitch has always been the main platform, right? And it's like as of the last year, 2 years, if we include Rumble in that as well, has been like the first challenge to Kick. And I feel like we haven't seen a competitor to YouTube, which is like the weird part, right? It's like, me personally, like just answering the question flat out right now, I would say no. I would say there's no competitors to YouTube that could take over in the next 5 to 10 years. But I mean, I probably would have said the same thing about Twitch 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like, we almost need like some sort of groundbreaking event, like with Kick, for example. It was their biggest Twitch streamer, Aiden Ross, switching over. It's like, how can they even do that with YouTube, right? Are they just going to sign somebody with Mr. Beast that has 100 million subscribers and move him over to another platform and he carries the platform? And
I don't see Mr. Beast moving to platforms because he's so dedicated to YouTube. And,
did you see his tweet about Kick?
Oh, no, I haven't. What did he say?
He tweeted out and said he wants to start live streaming on Kick just to start beef with Twitch.
Oh yeah, but I don't see Jimmy like completely switching over though.
Okay.
Like I think he might, I mean, just like he's done with TikTok. He's gone into TikTok, he's played around with TikTok, but that's not his like main, like I would argue most of the people that find him through the funnel, like they start with YouTube and then they'll maybe tap into his other platforms.
Agreed.
So what I'm saying is as the main platform, I don't really see Jimmy moving away from YouTube, but because Jimmy loves YouTube and because he makes so much money already there. But if you're talking about a middle tier creator, and from middle tier creators, they're more likely to go based on money. Yeah. So it's like money talks. Yeah. So if Kick is willing to pay more money or TikTok's willing to pay more money than YouTube, you 100% will see people move over to those platforms. I think that's the only time you got to worry is like, will any of these platforms be able to compare on the earnings of YouTube and maintain? Because it's one thing this is what's happening with Kick. Yeah. Kick is throwing out so much money. You go live right now, what do you get paid? Like 20 bucks an hour or something? Yeah. It's like, it's better than working at McDonald's, right? But let's be honest, that's not sustainable and that won't happen for a long time. Right. So it's like, okay, right now it's cool, but let's talk about 5 years from now. What's sustainable and will it pay more than YouTube? If the answer is yes, then yeah, you have a huge issue with YouTube.
I think there's definitely a chance, but I mean, it's too early to say because we haven't seen a big enough crack. But I agree, and it's the same thing that I think Kick is already running into, where it's like they're signing all of these massive creators, throwing them massive amounts of money, whatever, and they love it. But it's the aspect of like you said, those kind of like middle ground and lower tier creators that actually build a community on the platform. Because it's like if I could go on YouTube and I knew every time I go on YouTube, the only people I can watch are creators with 1 million plus subscribers, I'm not really that interested, right? Like a big intriguement of me is just being able to go on the platform and watch whatever I like, right? And with Kick right now, it's like you can only really watch that you're interested in at least like 5 creators, and it's the biggest creators on the platform, right? So it's like once you kind of get that middle ground of, you know, instead of 10,000 concurrent viewers, you're getting 500 or you're getting 100, right? And you have that kind of low tier community being built on the platform. I think that builds some sustainability in the long run because you can turn that into a monetization method through the platform, obviously, not you yourself. But I think that's overall Kick's goal, right? Is like, we're going to be not profitable the whole first year, maybe second year, maybe the first 5-10 years, but it's like, when eventually can we turn a profit?
Right. The problem is like there's a lot of companies who tried that method. Like most startup companies do that.
Yeah.
Almost all of them fail.
Right.
You only got a few that survive. So we'll have to see. The way I work is I like to go for platforms that I know has history.
Yes. Yep.
And look, I know I'm not going to be a pioneer with that mindset. I know I'm not going to be the one to come up with the most innovative idea with that mindset, but it depends on the phase of life that you're at. If you're a person that's a beginner and you have nothing to lose, go all in on multiple platforms. That's new, sure. But if you're someone that wants something that's predictable income, you run a business, you don't, the problem with Kick is, let's say, or these new platforms, let's say I put all of my eggs into that platform because it's a new platform, hip, whatever. What happens if the money just cuts in half and I run a giant employees and like team and all this stuff? I mean, the whole business goes bankrupt, right? So based on your circumstance, you have to be a little bit more risk averse. So that's why I'm not involved with the other platforms currently. But ultimately, the way I teach it is like, look, the thing that we go over in these episodes about YouTube, etc., most of it is correlated with other platforms too. Like it's more like content based.
For sure.
The game of learning how to master content is what we teach you guys. And that's the stuff that you can just translate over to TikTok, translate over to Rumble, wherever you go. So regardless, wherever the platforms go, my mindset is, remember, as a creator, you're not in the YouTube game. You're in the content game. You're in the content game. And so just figure out where that platform fits well and make content for it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And that's for some reason, something that everybody looks over and has looked over for so long, but it's like content translates. It's the same thing with TikTok. It's the same thing with Instagram as of right now as well. But I think it's interesting that you said you don't think Jimmy would ever leave. I feel like he would be the one creator that would be like, fuck it, and kind of like make that first transition of like the YouTube over to Kick, because that's just kind of how he is.
Does he have a reason to?
I think they throw him a big enough bag. I think he does.
No.
You don't.
I don't think he's money driven in that way.
Yeah, but I think he's innovative driven, where it's like, if I have the ability to go start up the new YouTube, I will.
Maybe. But that's a big risk.
I think so too, but he's already set.
I don't think he's set. That's the thing. Most people don't. When people look at these YouTubers or celebrities, everyone thinks that they're set. They got millions of dollars. They're good. You'd be surprised. Like, because you forget there's a lot of people that have to touch that money before it goes to Jimmy.
For sure. But I mean, he just ends all production, stops spending $3 million on every single video. I mean, he's set.
Yes, but remember, the whole business falls apart if he doesn't produce high quality videos.
Mr. Beast reacts.
Right, but you'll make far less. You see what I'm saying? Like, obviously he'll still make money. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like far less than what he's doing now.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it'd either be PewDiePie or Mr. Beast. Would be like, screw it.
I think PewDiePie's he's too gone. Yeah. I don't think he's in the space
That's
anymore.
That one creator that I just know nothing about. Like, so OG that he's like so hidden. Did you see him and Mr. Beast just met like a month ago?
Really?
Yeah, I met up in Paris, the Eiffel Tower.
Oh. Huh.
I thought that was cool. Random side note.
So there's 3 major issues with the YouTube automation space.
And the biggest one is your niche.
These are 3 types that we commonly see people go into when it comes down to building a YouTube automation channel that just goes wrong. All right, so the first type of channel, this is what we noticed, guys. A lot of people do YouTube automation, and you see a lot of these gurus out there, because there's a lot of misinformation nowadays. People's like, oh, I can sell a course in this. I literally, I kid you not, bro. You know what's crazy? I had someone in my DMs. This kid got 1 million views.
Okay.
And he was like, because I was helping him out and showing him how to get the 1 million views, and he got 1 million views, and he was so happy and excited.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, a month later, I see him on his bio on Instagram change it to YouTube expert.
Stop.
Yeah, like he changed it to YouTube expert, and then get this, 3 months goes by, and then he puts it as like a course that he's selling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, this makes no sense.
It's so weird.
So this is the problem. There's so much misinformation. There's people who don't actually really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's hard because it's like, well, how do you figure out who knows what they're talking about? I mean, just see what we talk about. Yeah. And if it doesn't match to close to what we're talking about, that gives you a red flag.
Yeah.
So here's one type of channel that we know doesn't work. It used to work, but it doesn't anymore. This type of channel is like almost a voiceover AI type of channel. And it's also more, I would call it artificially created, artificially intelligence created. So look at this one channel called Sir Reddit. And we'll have our editor play a quick 10-second clip. Make sure it's 10 seconds, no more, because it's so annoying to watch. But you'll see it. And it's pretty much very it's very like robotic, and you
Yeah.
can tell. You just watch, you're like, dude, I know this is not a human, right? And it's just so weird. But pretty much what it is this whole AI. Well, I know the guy behind it. He created almost this little AI slash software that will literally grab random stuff on Reddit, like random threads, and take those random threads and just send it to an AI voiceover. The AI voiceover will automatically read it out loud, put it into an editing file, and you're done.
r/ask Reddit. What's a big industry secret that isn't supposed to be known by the general public? You use too much Dawn dish soap. That stuff is ridiculously concentrated.
This guy has a system that almost automatically creates these videos for him. It's all like just done for him.
Right.
That type of stuff YouTube doesn't like. You know, as much as we call it automation, we do leverage AI, we leverage, you know, freelancers online, but let's be honest, YouTube doesn't like a completely done AI because there's no longer creativity involved.
At that point, it's just spam content. In a
100%.
sense, right? It's like he could technically, with that system, in a sense, he could upload 100 videos a day and not run into a bottleneck. I think the biggest thing for niches like this is like, I mean, let me get your opinion from this, but like if you literally just, rather than did the AI voiceover and you just added some personality to it and you used a real voice narrator instead of going over just like random, like you're saying, AI generated Reddit threads, you find genuine Reddit threads and read through those. Do you think that's possible?
Yes. We've seen other channels do that before.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore in this niche because, in my opinion, this niche is kind of dead.
Yeah.
But before, what happens where this used to monetize, we used to make so much money with this type of channel, and then YouTube caught on to it. YouTube demonetized the content. So we're like, okay, how do we adjust? So what we did is we went on Upwork.com or Fiverr.com. We hired a narrator that's an actual human, and that narrator would then read the Reddit stuff for us, and we made sure that they did it in a funny way. So it just made it engaging, right? By us doing that, it worked, and we got monetized again, and we were able to make money. But I don't think the niche works like it once did.
Right, because it's almost overpopulated from so much bad.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And yeah, so there's a lot of misinformation, and that's one of them. Just do not go into that space. I think one thing we got to talk about is AI voiceovers in general, because like too many people are so focused on that right now. So like kind of like break down for you, like when you look at an AI voiceover, what do you think is the pros and cons slash also YouTube's policies of it?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the biggest thing with AI voiceovers is it's the most common sense thing, but again, something that everybody looks over is just like the personification to it. Like there's never been a video that I've watched through, and of course there's been hundreds of AI videos that I've clicked on and heard the voiceover that I've genuinely watched and been like, I enjoyed this video, because it just feels like there's no, even the information it's giving, right? It feels less of a person. It's like there's 9.999 XYZ. But that's like the major thing that I'm seeing with AI is it's overused to a point where you can like determine that it's not a human, right? I think the border where you can make AI work is if you can make it feel like it's a human, right? Because that's the whole point of AI in general. It's like nobody cares about a robot. Nobody ever did, right? It's like 5 years ago, people were posting content, maybe not 5 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever, a year ago.
In the 1800s for sure, they posted
for sure.
content.
Like
they
back
had
in
like
the day.
selfie sticks in the 1800s.
Yeah, George Washington, I saw his first vlog, but
Me too.
but AI stuff in general, I feel like it's like we've had it for the past 3 years. It's just been so shitty. It's been very noticeable that it's robots. And I think as of recently, the reason it's showing so much potential is because it's seeming less like robots.
Well, at the same time, I feel like, how do you know if you've seen a piece of content that's AI created and it's not noticeable,
Right.
How do you know it was not?
I think that's
AI,
fine then.
right? I mean, the CIA did it with us with aliens. Do you know the Earth is flat?
Wow. Okay. Quick turn.
But seriously though, like at this point, the problem is we don't know what's real with AI.
Okay.
You know, there's just so much stuff happening technology-wise that's growing really quick. And I think YouTube is in a weird spot where they're like, look, we just want creative content. We don't want stuff that's easily just generated automatically, right? Even if it may sound like a human, if it's too easy to do and it's not creative, you're not adding substance. That's all they care about. Add substance to the platform. The way you got to look at it, guys, when you make content, ask yourself, what does YouTube want? They just want substance. They want something new. They want something a little bit more creative than the last video, right? And so as long as you do that, you're usually in the safe area.
Yeah, and it's not even just YouTube, honestly, because it's like you think about it just from AI voiceover and human voiceover, and it's like what's going to perform better at the end of the day, no matter what, right? It's like they have the exact same analytics. What's going to perform better? The human 10 times out of 10. So it's like if you have that possibility to use a human or have the opportunity to use a human voiceover rather than AI, then I think it's 10 times out of 10 better. And I think it's same with formatting content.
Yeah.
Because like the biggest thing that we see on a lot of these channels as well is like the full video is generated by AI as well. Sometimes it doesn't correlate. Sometimes it's just like a little, the quality is too good. The quality is too bad. It's too like just AI-ified in a sense. So I think the biggest point to take from just like the AI takeover on YouTube is like, how can I make this humanized?
Yeah. All right. So the next type of channel that we recommend you do not do, and this is going to make sure that your channel doesn't succeed on YouTube automation if you do this. YouTube hates compilation channels. Okay. So we'll have the editor kind of play a quick compilation channel video on this screen and everything so you can watch it.
Swing.
But ultimately, if you watch it, you can tell it's almost like highlight moments.
Yeah.
So what it is a lot of people will take other people's footage, you know, like a podcast, a long form podcast, an hour long, they'll take it, turn it into like 5-minute highlight moments. Even if you do 20, 30 seconds only, and then you clip a bunch of 30-second moments together, YouTube hates that stuff because you're not adding substance. You know, this is why I always teach when you're doing a YouTube automation channel, you need to have a narrator, have some commentary, because that right there will safeguard you from almost every issue copyright-wise.
Yeah, I think this one's super controversial as well. Like this is, for some reason, the channels that everybody starts when they're first starting YouTube automation. And I think it's literally just because this is like, when you think of like a cash cow YouTube channel, right? You think of just taking somebody else's content and uploading it, right? That's in a sense like what broad automation is, because you're not recording, right? So I think it's almost like a bold statement to say not to do these, but I've never seen a channel bring in even any revenue that's like this, that is exactly every single clip is pulled from another creator's content. It just will get instantly copyrighted. But I think a way around this that I actually thought was really interesting is a guy popped the video up on screen, whoever is editing this, but it was like Joe Rogan's craziest conspiracy theories.
These are 15 of the craziest conspiracy theories ever shared on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, beginning with episode 1954, where Joe Rogan shares his theory on the afterlife.
Right. And instead of doing just a compilation of all of these conspiracy theories, the guy would play a 10 to 25 second clip max. He would then stop and then leave commentary about the conspiracy. So it'd be like, what do you guys think? Like, is this true? I also found this file from the JFK archive where it proved this is correct. So it's like, that's the personification added to it. But if you're going straight raw footage, stealing in a sense, stealing the content from somebody else and just trying to repurpose it, then it's like, one, you're not getting, you're not even gonna be available to get revenue, and B, it's just, you hit a viewership cap in a sense. Like even this channel and other channels within just the compilation scene in general, I've never seen anything more than like 1 million views. You'll have those one outliers that'll blow up, but you're still at a view cap as well.
Do you notice there's a common theme though with this type of compilation channel?
Which is?
Substance. There's no substance. There's no new substance added. There's no new additions added to the platform that adds something to the value of the platform, right? By the guy adding commentary where he does a 10-second clip, reacts, I call it reacts. Reacts to that 10-second clip, and that guy has his own narration, adding his own commentary. That's adding substance. Yes, you're taking other people's footage, but you're also adding a nice substance and reaction
Insight
to
from
it.
yourself.
Insight, and YouTube loves that too. So I think ultimately people are trying to be lazy with their content, and that's when they go wrong. And I get it. It's hard to start a YouTube automation channel with no money. It's hard to start a YouTube channel with no editing experience or narration experience or microphone. I get that. But do what I did. I started and I worked at an actual job, and I had to gain money at an actual job to afford a microphone or a fast computer. Then I had to late night watch video tutorials on how to edit stuff on Sony Vegas, right? Do the work. And today, there's better technology and better tutorials than I had. I had, dude, my tutorials I had to watch in like 2016. The guy's like computer fan would be so loud as he's trying to step you through an edit. I'm like, wait, what did you say? What was that word? So yeah, so the editing tutorials back then sucked. Today, no one has excuses. And so I think ultimately, do the work and add substance to the platform, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to get monetized. The stuff that we're breaking down, guys, you will not get monetized. Your channel will not get approved for monetization, which means what's the point of even doing the work?
Yeah, at all. Those are the two types of YouTube automation channels that you should never make. But those are not the only things that you need to avoid when starting a YouTube automation channel. Which brings us to our second tip, YouTube Shorts.
All right, so honestly, about the YouTube Shorts stuff, it sucks. I think it's a waste of time.
Wow.
On a serious note, though, I saw people in the comment section, they say, hey, so what's your opinion on shorts? Like, that's actually one of the biggest questions we've been getting. Everyone's so obsessed with shorts right now. So, like, what's your take of the platform, like, adding shorts and kind of, like, The way I'll first break down the way I look at it, guys. When I'm talking, guys, remember my strategies is not about you getting lots of views. My strategy is you making lots of money. That is my primary strategy. I know a lot of people say YouTube Shorts is amazing, but if it doesn't bring me a lot of money, I don't want to do it. So kind of what's your take about YouTube Shorts and what we're looking at?
I think that's the best thing that you can preface whenever talking about shorts as well. From the revenue standpoint, because I'll start off there. I think there's kind of two segments that we need to pinpoint here. From a revenue standpoint, I see channels that are pulling, and we'll pull a screenshot up in the video a few minutes later, but you know, we have channels pulling 100 million plus views just off short form and making less than $1,000 a month, which is absolutely crazy, right? If I'm getting 100 million views, long form, it's going to translate to a lot more. So just strictly from the revenue side of things, AdSense wise, I don't think it makes sense. Right. From the brand deal side of things, I think there's a lot more potential. Right. I used to work in a marketing agency a few years ago, and I still get a lot of deals sent to me from the agent who works there. And a lot of the deals that are coming in recently have either been short form, just any platform, so TikTok, Snapchat, anything of that sense. But a lot of them have been shorts focused as well. And I think it's almost kind of like you said, why are people so infatuated with this right now is because it's just another facade. Just how, not facade, but trend, sorry.
It's a facade though.
Yeah, at the same time.
It's low-key. It depends on your objective. So one guy made a good point. He said, hey, look, if you have a course product, you have a you have an info product, you have a just you're selling another product outside of YouTube ad revenue. He said YouTube Shorts is probably actually a good move. And I agree with that because you have some other platform or some other external product you can ship people to. But the problem is most people don't do that with YouTube. And so at the real level, man, I think it's a facade because people are so clout driven, they're not financially driven.
Okay.
And to me, that's where all the problems are. Because I don't want to be famous and broke.
Yes.
I'd rather be rich and anonymous. Yeah. And I think, or at least rich and famous at the same time, right? Because like,
what's the rich?
Dude, there's more cons that comes when you're famous and you're broke, because then you can't hire security, right? I mean,
wow, yeah, that's a good point.
So like, I mean, what are you saying?
I don't know. I think there's two sides to the story, right? I think if you're a big creator, then it makes sense to do shorts because, like you say, you have those other avenues to be able to monetize shorts, right? It's not just AdSense. Like the creator that I work with, the Dentist, he pulls 150 million views monthly off short form views. AdSense wise, not a whole lot of money, right? But just off his products, he translates that to 100K plus revenue strictly off products, which is absolutely insane, right? That's more than you're going to be making off long form. So I think if you can tie products and you have other marketing methods, streams of revenue based off that short form content, then I think there's a lot of potential.
Yes.
But I think if you're one of these new creators and your whole goal is you're hearing these people on TikTok and just these YouTube gurus saying you build $5,000 a month YouTube automation revenue, your goal isn't shorts.
Or million, or recently made a million viewed YouTube expert in bio.
Yes, somebody who's never ran a channel like myself.
He ran a channel. Oh. He got 1 million views, bro. But he's a YouTube expert now that he got 1 million views.
I might buy his course, honestly. That's pretty intriguing.
As long as I get a discount promo, I'll buy it.
Yeah, go down, click the link in the description, buy his course.
We're not putting that course down there. But no, I mean, I agree. I think people need to understand the differences, though. We're talking about, if we're talking about a faceless channel, right? A faceless channel, YouTube Shorts, in my opinion, is the worst move. Now, if we're talking about a personality, a personal brand, like us showing our face on camera right now, us doing some shorts might be a good move if we have another product to promote. Yeah. And I think that's the only time it makes sense. And I think this is the problem with people with shorts. They're so caught up in that number. It's like a metric, and they're so obsessed with metrics. They're not obsessed with what matters. What are you taking home? Like, are you able to pay your bills? Yeah. Like, what's the point of making content if you can't pay your bills? I know you want to make entertainment for people too, but let's be honest. Most creators I know, I met the biggest creators, and they all, like, some of them will play the card, like, in person. I don't know if you ran into it, because you met a bunch of them.
I'm passionate.
Yes, they'll always play the game. I'm passionate about content creation. I just want to do what's right for the fans.
And I'm sure you are. I'm
sure that's a piece of it, but let's be honest. I know that you're very financial driven, because behind the scenes, I hear all about it in their camp, that he's very financial driven, right? Yeah. So if finances is important, which I believe it is, everyone's got to pay their bills.
Of course.
Look, if you're a faceless channel, I don't think shorts is the right move for you.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But okay, I think that poses a bigger question then. At what RPM would you say it makes sense to start the translation of shorts? Because we're already
$2 to $3.
Really? Okay, $2 to $3. You wouldn't say $1?
Maybe, but some niches are smaller than others.
Yeah.
Just depends on how big your niche is. But let's be honest, the average person can't get a YouTube short to 1 million views.
Yeah, I think there's so much more potential for viewership cap though. There's
YouTube
almost
Shorts, I don't know about you, but I've felt like YouTube Shorts sometimes is just like so random.
none. Oh yes.
Okay, so you agree?
Yes. Yes.
We know so much about data. We
fact.
see so much metrics all the time. But I'm telling you guys, YouTube Shorts, it is the one thing we can't pinpoint. All of our YouTube expert friends, they can't pinpoint fully. They pretend they can, but let's be honest, we all know behind the scenes when we talk to each other, we're like, I think it does. Like it's like it's theory.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
I think whenever I get it at 45 seconds in length, I seem to get an extra 200,000 views.
And it's like there's some correlations to long form. It's like if your AVD is good, the video is going to perform good.
Yes.
If the CTR is good, or it's not CTR, but whatever it is, swiped or swiped away, whatever is good, then it's going to perform better. So I think it's a lot of the same principles apply to long form and short form on YouTube in a sense of average view duration, right? Metric. If your average view duration is high on a short form video, then it's going to perform better, right?
Yeah.
If your CTR or swiped away swiped is high, then it's going to perform better. But that's just metrics in a sense. It's like, yes, you can look at data, and if the data is good, it's going to perform.
Yeah.
But if the data is performing bad, what specifically is performing bad to make this video, this short form video, not perform? We can't pinpoint.
You know, I just think because no one can fully figure out YouTube Shorts, and I don't even know if there is an algorithm to YouTube Shorts sometimes, if I had to be honest.
For sure, there's got to be.
Well, not an algorithm, but like
random.
I'm talking like an algorithm that's actually smart, like a YouTube, like the actual
Developed.
long
It's
form.
developed.
Yes. Like, which by the way doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how you can't take one algorithm and kind of tweak it a little bit and move it to another version, vertical. That's the one thing I'm confused with YouTube. YouTube seems very behind on this platform.
Yeah, it's confusing. I always try to understand like the back end algorithm side of things. That'd be a cool guest to have on a podcast, like Todd.
Yeah, we need someone who's like behind
Works
YouTube.
on the algorithm.
The question is how much can they say?
Not a
Because
whole
let's be
lot.
honest, YouTube puts them under contract.
They bounce around the question.
100%, 100%. But yeah, so yeah, ultimately, guys, look, if you want to be successful right now with YouTube automation, don't do shorts. Please focus all of your time in long form. It pays the bills. If your personality, maybe test out YouTube Shorts. That makes sense if you have an external product.
Or if you're a YouTube automation channel that's looking to market another product, maybe that's a side of things that you get
Yes,
into.
like an affiliate program. But even then, I found that it's hard to, if you don't have a face, it's sometimes hard to take them off that platform.
Yeah.
All right, so this is one of the questions we got. By the way, guys, if you have a question and you need help and you want us to answer it and put you featured on the show, go ahead and comment down below on YouTube if you have a question and everything. So here's a question we got. This guy, he says, I feel that comparing TikTok with YT Shorts is not apples for apples though. Sure, they both deliver short form content, but that's where the similarities end. TikTok did for video what IG did for photos, i.e. make your average video look good through easy to use editing tools, filters, effects, etc. YT Shorts doesn't have any of that, so they can't really be appealing to the same avatar. Trying to use them in the same way sounds doomed to fail from start, or is it not? Caleb spoke about Shorts regressing some
He's
channels, but
roasting
this
you.
was in CTR. What if other metrics, coaching sales, course sales, etc., went up? CTR and AdSense isn't the be all and end all, surely. So on the note about money wise, yes, like we just went over, yeah, like pretty much AdSense wise, YouTube Shorts sucks. If you're trying to promote a physical product or a coaching service, maybe it can help, and that's not too bad. But on the other question, he's saying that almost what is he trying to say? He's saying that
He's
TikTok,
basically saying that the only reason that people use TikTok, or the thing that TikTok did for people, is it made it an all-in-one platform where you can very easily edit, add sounds, and post your TikTok, which to me is just incorrect, right? It's like he's saying YouTube Shorts doesn't have these editing tools, these filters,
didn't Vine have it back in the day?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Every platform forever
Snapchat
has had
actually was
it.
probably the first one.
I think Vine might have been the first.
Vine and Snap, yeah.
Yeah, anyways, but I mean, at the same time, bro, it's like, I think why YouTube Shorts is doing so well isn't because, or sorry, why TikTok is doing so well isn't because it has these editing features, XYZ, whatever. And I think YouTube Shorts isn't doing bad in the sense because it doesn't have these editing tools. It's just honestly, I mean, I think that's.
I think I know what it was. Because when TikTok was first starting to blow up, I saw what TikTok was doing as a company.
Okay.
So TikTok, obviously Chinese investors are huge behind it. They had billions of revenue to deploy into marketing. And not even revenue, they had billions of investment. They weren't making any money. They still to this day, it's kind of eh. So what ended up happening is they took the billions of dollars. I saw them firsthand. One of my friends, he runs a whole Snapchat network, right? Okay. So they have millions of followers on a Snapchat profile. And he said they were literally handing out 6-figure checks for a couple like a couple promos saying, hey, check out this platform, TikTok. And just for you guys to know, in that space, because it was a meme channel, 6 figures is very, very high for that. Normally, you'll maybe do a $1,000 to $3,000 promo at most for whatever. So TikTok, something that they could have got for $6,000, they were willing to pay 100, close to like a little over 100 grand for these 2 promos. That makes 0 sense. TikTok was just throwing out money because they just wanted to grow fast. And so I think TikTok just grew so fast because they had such a big marketing budget. Yes, they did, come up with a new technology in a way, but in my honest opinion, they just took what Vine did, made it slightly better, and then really ran it up with ads. And then obviously just went from there, just blew up, right? Everyone started to use it. They added a lot of dopamine effects. If you guys don't know, the beginning of TikTok, it would count as multiple views. If you would scroll, watch something, go back to it, it would count as 2 different views. So what ended up happening is everyone thought they had millions of views, but secretly there's a lot of people that were re-watching it that would count as an extra view. They did it on purpose at the very beginning of TikTok because they wanted people to believe that it's vanity metrics, almost what we're just talking about YouTube Shorts. It's vanity metrics and it's the dopamine rush. The dopamine rush when you're a nobody and you release some random piece of content that only took you 10 minutes to release and you instantly get 1 million views. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm famous. What the heck? This is amazing. No, there's maybe only 100,000 unique people that actually saw that.
Right. I think what this guy's trying to hit out as well is he's saying it's a whole different avatar in a sense that the audience that TikTok appeals to is a completely different audience than what YouTube Shorts applies to or whatever that is interested in it. But to me, right, it's the same principles that apply to both. I think there is a bit of an avatar difference in a sense of TikTok might be a little younger, XYZ, whatever, but I think it's still the reason TikTok is so kind of like what this guy's trying to get at is it's so accessible. Anybody can go on their phone, go on TikTok, hold the little red video down and post a TikTok like that. YouTube Shorts is a little more difficult, right? So to me, and what he's trying to get about Ecom Alex, probably money, right? He's trying to say that the viewers on TikTok are not going to kind of monetize as well as YouTube Shorts, but to me, it's the complete opposite, right? TikTok, you're getting a higher mass of views, but the audience that you're serving it to, unless you're getting the correct audience, but more than likely, the audience that you're serving it to are less serious, right? They're going on the platform and getting off the platform within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. But if you're going on YouTube and looking at YouTube Shorts, two things. You're a lot more of a YouTube fan, so you're on the platform more because just like he's saying, it's not as accessible to get on YouTube Shorts, right? So that would show me it takes more effort to get on YouTube Shorts. Therefore, they're going to give more effort to convert. Right. And B, it shows that there is some sort of crossover because there's that short form to short form. There's that accessible to accessible. Right. Do you get what I mean there? So it's kind of like a weird crossover where it's like there's pros and cons to both. And I think he's agreeing to that. But it's like what can monetize better? To me, Shorts in the long run, if you're arguing the accessibility feature.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think Shorts can work. I think it just depends on your objective at the end of the day. And I think that long form can work because you build more of a connection with your audience in a long form piece of content, but it's harder to get views on than a short.
Have you seen TikTok? Over 1:30 videos recently. RPM has been like 50, 60 cents.
It's been increasing.
It's crazy. What do you think about that?
Like we said at the very beginning, man, if TikTok can continue to compete and get their rates higher, you'll see a lot more people move to TikTok.
See that crossover.
The only problem we have to think about with TikTok specifically is a ban, because India already banned TikTok. A few other countries already did it. America's already saying that they're going to follow suit.
Yeah.
So there's recently there's a huge situation going on where I think the EU and a few other countries, they're passing massive data laws. So what that means is where like new laws about where you can store data, how much or what specific data you can store about customers, etc. All of that is changing very fast. And what that means is that they may be positioning some of these laws on purpose, so that way they can say, "Oh, TikTok, you didn't follow our data laws to protect the privacy of our country users. For that, we're going to take you off the market."
Right.
And so we'll see what happens. My only fear right now for TikTok, my last remaining fear at this point, because TikTok is starting to get in a position where they're finally paying you good money. So if they continue that, good. The last fear I have is a ban, and I think that the window of when that's going to happen, if it does, will be in the next 1 to 2 years. So we'll see. I would say come a year from now, if I don't see a ban, I would probably start moving some of my content as well and move over to TikTok with it.
Yeah, interesting. I'm already starting to see some of my clients as well starting to make that transition. One of my clients, we post long form 8-minute videos every Wednesday, Saturday, and we post short form every other day. So 7 uploads a week, 5 shorts, 2 long form, right? But what we're starting to do is on the day that we post long forms on YouTube, we'll take the best 1:30 out of it. So like what we're honestly expecting to be the retention spike out of the video or the top moment out of the video, we'll take that 1:30 segment, post it on TikTok, put the long form link in the bio. So you get some of that crossover from TikTok to YouTube audience, and you're getting that revenue from that 1:30 plus 50, 60 cent RPM on TikTok. So it's almost using the best of both worlds, just repurposing the same content. So that can be an angle as well.
All right, guys, look, the best thing you can do for us is leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. So if you can go down in the description on YouTube, or if you're already on the Apple Podcasts, or if you're on Spotify, move over to Apple Podcasts and try to leave us a review. It really helps us out of getting this out there. And if you did get value, make sure you share it and tag me, and I'll be reposting you out there on my Instagram. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Like and subscribe.